I'm Shawn Mullin with Sega's Inside Edge on the Swift Current Broncos, and I'm joined by the Assistant General Manager and Director of Business Operations for the Broncos, Dianne Sletten, after they recently released their financial numbers for the 2012-2013 Western Hockey League season. And Dianne, how would you describe the results for the finances over that year?
Well, I guess we took a little bit of a loss, and that's certainly not anything that we want to have happen. But, you know, we tried some new things last year, and they didn't all work. And that's kind of what, you know, in the fundraising area that caused us a little bit of a loss there. But we worked really hard, and I'm really pleased with how everything else came together. I mean, our corporate sponsorship was up, the gate revenue's up, season ticket revenue is up slightly. So, yeah, it's all coming together and definitely going in the right direction.
So to specify, certainly that big loss you're talking about, the $100,000 loss for the Dwight Yoakam Fall Fun Fest concert, sort of a chance you took and something that just didn't work out, but if you took that out of the picture, you feel like you guys would have been on the right track?
Oh, definitely. We would have, you know, we would have had a small profit there as well then had we not done that. But, you know, we learned a lot from that, and we have to keep in mind, you know, we had over 2,600 people in that home opener, and when we announced the, you know, Dwight Yoakam coming and Trooper, that created a lot of buzz and excitement for us, and that was one of the biggest home openers we've ever had in years. So that definitely, we saw some residual from that.
Now, you announced two different numbers in terms of your financial losses. One, the cash loss, and one, the paper loss. The paper loss much larger. Can you sort of expand upon that, explain that for the general public that may not understand where that's coming from?
Well, the cash loss is definitely, you know, our revenue and our expenses from last season. And so, yeah, we lost a little over $13,000 in revenue for last season. The liability on the education side is basically, it's almost like a savings account. So our players that we signed last year and the ones that we're predicting will go to school in the next few years, you know, we kind of put that money in a savings account. That was a little higher than what we anticipated, and so yeah, that number went up, but it's nothing that you know, affected last year's finances. We're in a very good position. We have you know, over $400,000 saved in the education fund. We know we need to keep adding more. So for us, I think it's, you know, it's a really a positive almost that we're on top of things. We know what we need and know what our obligations are going to be well into the future, and we're taking care of it.
Right, so in essence, you're making sure that if everybody you've committed to ends up using the education fund, you have the money set aside to deal with that, rather than aiming on the low side and not being prepared in case that happens. Exactly,
and you know, the only time you'd ever have to pay all of that out at once is if the team went away, and you know, that's not going to happen. So it's a reserve fund, or a savings account, if you will, type of thing. Each player is, you know, we're paying right now for players that paid 5 years ago, or played 5 years ago rather. So, you know, and this is well into the future that we're anticipating with some of the signings of our 15-year-olds, you know, if they go for 4 years. So it's a best guess that we can do. But the, you know, the real positive thing is, yeah, we're on track. We're keeping, you know, what our obligations are, and really, you know, making sure we have that money around.
Looking forward, you mentioned the gate revenue was up, corporate sponsorship was up, more people in the stands last year. How do you anticipate things going this year? What are some things planned in order to keep pushing that? Because the board of directors was talking that getting maybe 100, 200 more people a game was really the goal heading into this year.
You bet. I mean, that's what we've got to focus on, and so we're trying some new things again this year as well. Fully sponsored, you know, for the most part, but our Saturday night sellouts is one of the big promotions that we're looking at doing, and October 5th is the first one with the Disneyland trip giveaway. We've got 3 other big nights that we're really going to push and market in November, on November 2nd, for a Christmas shopping spree of $2,000 worth of Christmas gift cards. January 18th is our Pack the Plex night, where somebody could win up to $5,700 in cash. And then the big one is the March 5th on the car giveaway night, the 2000 Ford Mustang. So we've got some major sponsors that are helping us out with those big promotions, so we really hope that's going to increase the average. I think the play of the team, I mean, it's starting out, it's a very exciting team, and people are excited to be watching them. So I think that's definitely going to help us as well. And yeah, we'll just really, you know, kind of push some of those big nights to help increase that average attendance.
All right, thanks a lot, Dianne. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's Dianne Sletten, Assistant General Manager and Director of Business Operations for the Swift Current Broncos. So a slight loss for the Broncos this year, but the hockey operations side profitable and trending upwards. I'm Shawn Mullin for Sega's Inside Edge on the Swift Current Broncos.